Hello, my wonderful little weirdo warriors. I am going to now, it's Saturday morning. Looks like it's going to be a pretty morning. Last night we had the windows all open because it actually got cool. We've been getting up into the 80s now, so that's kind of nice. Okay, so things have been taken care of, and now I can address something on a video that I have addressed on my memes and my graphics. A lot of you probably have already at least heard something of what I'm going to be talking about. And that is about the Rape Academy that has now become known in the general public. It's a, I don't even know if I want to say the name. It's a porn site, and it's not just this, but it's a rape academy. I mean, there's other categories of typical. It's motherless.com, I think it is. And I did look to see, and the entire, just to see what the setup was, so I could tell you, it's not called the Rape Academy. And it, like I said, there's different categories as those porn sites do. They have all their little fetishes, and you click, and well, one of them is rape, which isn't uncommon, sadly and sickly to say. Like they've been around for decades, rape sites. And the reason I know that is because many years ago when I was living in Tucson, I had, with the Bank of America, I had some fraud, and somebody had used my bank card, my bank information, because I never lost my card. And they were sites that when I went into the bank, we looked up what they were, because they were sites that are like $50, $60 a month, and there was like 3 or 4 different ones that he was doing. I assume it's a he. And when we saw them, they were just like, I mean, I'm not a prude. I'm not like, oh, missionary is the only way type of deal. Not to be too much information, but I'm just saying, it's not like I'm, ooh, when you see a doggy step, oh my, Sorry, freaking allergies. I'm waiting for the antihistamine to start kicking in. Come on! That's what the snipping is. I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound like Trump. But, it does indeed do exactly what you've been hearing. When you go to that part of it, it doesn't just like the typical, which is sick and effed up to begin with, the typical rape porn sites where it's just, in quotes, where it's just a video of either bound or, whatever, abused, whatever, rape type videos. It's also those that have done it sharing where to get the drugs, how to get them into the woman, your partner. And they're talking about wives and girlfriends, people they live with, people they are dating. Like, let's say somebody's into, and I'm going to be frank here, I'm Judi, but I'm going to be, you know me. If some guy really wants to do anal with his wife, and she absolutely refuses, a fucked up guy will either find somebody to do it with and cheat on her, or look for ways to do it with her against her will, because she's already told him absolutely no, I'm not going to pretend that. I'm not going to let you do that. So the only way is for him either to accept that as an adult, cheat and do it with somebody who will, or drug her and do it to her and she doesn't even know. I've got such a little secret in my marriage. That's the first part. But they also share like so many millimeters of such and such put into like her coffee or a shake because it's like a little bitter, so put it in coffee type of suggestion. Those aren't the actual suggestions, but I'm just giving you an example. That's how detailed it is. And they not only show videos after they've done that, share it on the site. Many of them have invited either friends that are into it or these people arrange that a particular night, 1, 2, 3, whatever. Once she's already drugged and out, they tell you how to look at lift the eyelid and what to look for, how drugged she is without overdosing her, this kind of crap. What is it? 62 fucking million men. Yeah. It's all men until it's none of you. You say, but I never do that. I never even thought of that. For God's sake, that's awful. When people make jokes about objectifying women of any type, yours, theirs, somebody you don't know, do you chuckle kind of like, like, oh, I'm not really laughing, but, you know, I made that obvious to him, to my buddy? No, you didn't. You know what making it obvious to those kind of men are, guys? It's stopping them before they finish what they're saying about raping people. Illegally raping. It's telling them, shut up now. If you say that again, that's it between us. That's it. You know, or lecture them. Or just fucking walk away and tell them they're sick fucker and you're not friends with them anymore. That's sick. And you're going to tell their wives or their girlfriends what they're into. How about doing that, guys? Not just sitting there saying, but I don't, and I don't know any of my friends. 62 million men, some of them are your friends, guys. Some of them are. Do you think they know you men that are as safe as the bears? You think they don't know that? They're not going to tell you. They might tell another friend you both have because they might either agree with it and be like, oh, that's cool, or be like, huh, and not give them grief. And if you don't speak against it every second you see or hear anybody doing that, any man doing that, then you are a part of the problem because you're complicit and you're letting those little fucking perverts know that you don't approve, but you're not going to give them any pushback. You're not going to embarrass them in public, are you? That's the problem, guys. That is why we choose the bear. Because we don't know if you're agreeing with that or just don't want to embarrass the pervert. This is why we're here where we are in society. Because you don't want to fucking embarrass a friend of yours when they make disparaging comments about women or people of color or anybody. I've heard somebody say, oh, all gay, every LGBTQ person deserves to be raped. I heard somebody say that years ago. Do you think I just let that pass? No, I didn't know the person. It was a conversation as I was passing. They were sitting down at a little table and I was just going past. It was an outside thing. And no, it wasn't in Jersey. It was over a decade ago in Arizona. You know me better, even back then. You know I didn't just walk past and ignore it. I stopped, and I didn't care that I was eavesdropping, because if you're speaking in public, anybody is liable to hear. It's liable to be on somebody's video that's next to you taking a video and happens to hear you. You ever think that happens? Well, it does. And I turned around to that person, and I didn't even really say anything. I just looked at them. And it was one of these, I stopped and I actually turned my body and stood there. And I wasn't doing the colored hair at that point. I had that, that ginger, that copper ginger. I had that color for 20 years. And I just stopped until they realized that somebody was stopped near them and staring at them. And then I just kind of did one of these. I did not just hear you talk about that in public favorably. Did I? And I said something to the effect of, stop eavesdropping. And I let my voice get louder, because at that point, that was their choice. Not to just take the rebuke and zip it and let me go along my way. They had to act like they were outraged that I was intruding on their conversation. So I said exactly what I told you. If you're in public, anybody can hear it, which means anybody can comment on it. A personal thing, family, no, I'm not going to comment. I don't know who those people are. But if you're making those kind of comments and jokes, I sure the fuck am going to interject something. You need to know it's not sticking your nose in people's business. They took their business of perversion out into the public to discuss it. That tells me two things. One, they don't care. They're proud of it. Two, it's fair game. And I know you're going to say, Judi, isn't it better that it's out in the public so we know who they are? Well, we now know. And it's now time for the next thing, which is the next step of, now they know, we know who they are. Now we start enforcing the fuck around and find out. That part is where you men that actually support women and their autonomy. Hey, it's not even 8 a.m. yet. Give me a break. We need the men that are equivalent to the bears to continue. This morning, just my first swipe, that's the third guy in my feed, or that's a public, that has addressed this issue. Third guy. That's a good thing. Now why don't we quadruple that? Because guys, even if you're gay and women in general don't play a large part of your life, you still have mothers. A lot of us have aunts, daughters, sisters, nieces, cousins that are women. And guess what? Women have to learn as we get older how to deal with obnoxious, not just catcalls. And no, that is not a compliment. Oh, you're so hot, we have to tell you. That's not a compliment, guys. Never was, never will be. At least to women that have any self-respect, it's not. If there's a woman that, laughs or thinks it's cool when you peel out or yell catcalling shit, they have no self-respect. So go ahead and grab that person because, marry them because they don't mind misogynistic and chauvinistic bullshit coming out of your mouth. But you men, you need to start speaking up. More of you. More of you. You got all insulted last year when you found out that women would rather meet a bear, an unknown bear in the woods at night, than meet an unknown man. You got all up in arms, all bent out of shape. Women. The Rape Academy. You didn't see any shocked women, did you? When the news broke, did you? You saw women going, told you so. We told you it's a problem. We told you it's a problem. That's what you've been getting from us. And thank you to the men who didn't take prodding like this to speak up for women in their lives and in this planet, on this planet. If you haven't spoken up yet about it in public to other men, you need to. Or just assume women will never trust you fully.